The weather has not necessarily been our best friend this year, but that's still going. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. -5 night, +5 day used to always be ideal. It still is ideal, but the sap will still run even if you get a 0 and a +4. Like, it might just be later in the day. Sap started running at like 2:30 the other day, which was, oh, the day should be almost done by then, Well, it's starting out because we've already been at it for hours. But sap doesn't matter its own. It's going to do its own thing. Maple syrup is our number one thing. From there, we take our syrup and we make maple taffy, which is cooked to 234 degrees. We pour it in a cup instead of putting it on snow. If you get it on snow, that's a real treat. It's too time consuming to do with the size of our operation. Okay, you're just like, grab it. Interesting.
We could get your box a little bit.
That's okay.
More fun
Make
to
a
play.
challenge out of it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're at the right time.
And we have maple butter, which is cooked to 238 degrees. Maple cream is cooked to 240 degrees. And then we make maple sugar, which is cooked to 250 degrees. Our syrup is a lot different than most because it's darker to start out with. We don't have the really light syrup like if you were to go further up the mountain, further higher altitude, the maple syrup is lighter. But we are very close to sea level, so we have a darker, richer color and lots of flavor. There's a real sharp flavor to it. It's almost bitter to me. Now, if you like it, you love it. And if you don't, you don't. We have customers that they'll come first day of the season, what about that dark stuff? And I'm like, it's last year's. Yeah, I know, but that's what I want. They don't care that it's not this year's syrup. Like, they want the dark stuff. Dad said that he visited another producer not far away, and he thought he burnt his cans. But it wasn't. It was the bud in the syrup, and he'd never ever made syrup that light before. And he had been making maple syrup for years and didn't get that flavor or that smell because they just never made them. Bakeries and whatnot, they want the dark because it just adds extra flavor to what you're cooking. But we were jugging maple syrup the other day, the dark stuff. And Jim at the evaporator, he was like, oh wow, that changed in a hurry. But we were doing dark syrup in here. He was getting the smell of it every once in a while. He thought it was in the evaporator. He was like a little bit panicked, but not really. It's part of the maple season. The foam, when the syrup is foaming up in the back pan, it's almost white, like it's really, really light color. But as the season goes on, it gets darker, but it's more the smell that clues us into the season's coming to an end. When that happens, we can't make maple cream with that syrup. We can't make maple cream or butter or sugar. That's just for jugging. Like, the cream won't set like they set in the molds. If you use that dark syrup, it just won't. Yeah, it's made for taffy or to put in a jug. Each maple producer has their own way to do things. So the way we do it now is the way that our family has done it forever. When they did the brochure up for the Sugarwoods this year, we kind of tried to go back, and it's about 180 years. All sap has to go through the same process, regardless of where you are. We sell 90% of our syrup here at our camp, and then we have the market in Halifax, but we don't ship syrup anywhere. I just want people to realize that it's a labor of love and that it's not something that just, flutter the seat of your pants kind of happens. You have to really put heart and soul into it for it to work. Where do we go from here? It's the after. When he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore. Where do we go from there? So that's the part that makes me not worried, but just, it's always on my mind. This is where I want to be. this has been my life for as many years as I can remember, and this is where I plan to be forever if I can.